Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on transfer market. Today guys, as always, to keep you updated, we have plenty of things to say. Let me tell you one thing, stay tuned in the next 24, 48 hours, but in general in the next 2.5 weeks, because it's going to be an absolute madness what's going to happen. Still many things to happen, still many things to update you about. I was already telling you a lot of things in the last video, and I remind you that that video is still available here on the channel. For example, on Tottenham Hotspur, I maintain that Tottenham are still trying as of today for both Savinho and Cody Gakpo from Liverpool. So for sure, we have to follow both situations. But let me start today with another winger story in this video, because Paris Saint-Germain won the UEFA Super Cup against Aston Villa. Congratulations to PSG, another trophy, back-to-back Super Cup, back-to-back Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain are dominating, that's very clear. But if you look at Bradley Barcola, probably the story of the night in terms of transfers is about the French winger, because Barcola was not playing one single minute for Paris Saint-Germain. And also, if you look at Barcola's face, looks very clear that the player is probably thinking about leaving the club. And it doesn't mean that Barcola, eventually, if he will end up staying at Paris Saint-Germain, I'm sure he's going to be a super professional as always. But as of today, while there is the chance to go to Liverpool, Bradley Barcola's face is speaking for himself. The body language of Bradley Barcola looks very clear. Barcola was almost not even celebrating. Barcola wants to go to Liverpool, guys. I told you several times, the personal terms are almost in place, it's not a problem. Barcola is attracted by Liverpool, Barcola is wanted by Liverpool, and Barcola wants Liverpool move. So everything is in that direction. Now is on the club-to-club negotiations. Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain, the two clubs are talking. There are conversations, daily negotiations. So Liverpool and PSG are in direct club-to-club talks. For Bradley Barcola, of course, it's going to be a financial matter, so it depends on how much Liverpool are prepared to pay for Brad Barcola. At the moment, the conversation is still ongoing, but the big news of the night is the president of Paris Saint-Germain, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, after winning one more trophy and talking to Canal+, he said something important to Barcola. He said, I don't know what's going to happen with him, we will see in the next days, we are discussing, we are negotiating. And when Nasser Al-Khelaifi, who usually is very clear on the players who should stay at the club, says that Barcola's future is still open, means only one thing. The deal is absolutely on, is confirmed by PSG, the conversation is on, then you still need to reach a financial agreement, so it's not a done deal as of today, but for sure, the conversation is underway. And what I can add to you on this Barcola story is that today, for the first time, we have the official confirmation directly from Paris Saint-Germain that Barcola cannot be called untouchable. We spent May and June with many reports of Barcola to Liverpool, he's untouchable, impossible. I was coming here on the channel and telling you the deal is possible, Barcola wants to go, Barcola will not sign a new contract at Paris Saint-Germain, and now PSG, with their president, confirm that Barcola untouchable is not untouchable. There are negotiations, there are conversations, this depends on the financial package, but the deal is on, and Barcola is not untouchable. Then, talking about Paris Saint-Germain, guys, I expect them to go very strong, very fast in the next hours on several deals. They have a variable agreement with Parma for Suzuki. They just need to decide the next steps in terms of eventually where to send the player on loan. There is Juventus as an option. Paris Saint-Germain are expected to close a Ferran Torres deal in the next hours, so could be already today. Ferran didn't go to training yesterday for Barcelona because he's going to be a Paris Saint-Germain player. That's the clear intention of all parties involved. So if Ferran is not training, yesterday were back at Barcelona Dani Olmo, Pau Cubarsí, Lamine Yamal, the World Cup winners. And Ferran was not there. Ferran was not there because the deal with PSG is almost done at 50-55 million euros. So the here we go is a matter of hours. And then Mika Götze. Paris Saint-Germain remain in conversations also with Ajax for Mika Götze. There are talks, there are negotiations. I told you until the Super Cup, Paris Saint-Germain didn't want to accelerate on this one, but now they are ready to go all in for Mika Götze. So for sure it's going to be an important topic, this one as well. Obviously, if Paris Saint-Germain land all these players, including Mika Götze, it means that for Barcola to Liverpool, there are even more chances. So the deal for Barcola is absolutely on, and it's important to remind that Barcola is not untouchable, and then Paris Saint-Germain are going on several signings, are going to do special things on the market with Ferran, with Mika Götze, with Suzuki, so PSG are absolutely active. Then, Let me clarify something on Paris Saint-Germain and on Liverpool. Ibrahim Mbaye, Liverpool spoke with the agent of the player, Jorge Mendes, for several days, but my information is that as of today, Paris Saint-Germain believe that signing Barcola and signing Mbaye from Paris Saint-Germain means basically spending almost 200 million euros between one and the other player. So that would be a crazy package to spend on two players. So at the moment, my understanding is that Liverpool plan is to sign two wingers by the end of the window, especially if Cody Gakpo goes to Tottenham, because there is a possibility to see Gakpo going to Tottenham. If Gakpo goes to Tottenham and Liverpool sign Barcola, there is still space for one more winger. So Liverpool could sign two wingers from now to the end of the window. Barcola top target and one more. But if Cody Gakpo goes to Tottenham, that's the point. It's going to be important to understand if Gakpo goes to Tottenham or not. That's the point. And then, on Liverpool, on Ibrahim Mbaye, they spoke with Jorge Mendes, the new agent of the player, but at the moment, the price made by PSG for Ibrahim Mbaye is considered too expensive. So that's why the Mbaye situation remains not clear yet. Then, guys, let me mention something more, and it's about Cuti Romero. On Cuti Romero, we have to clarify one thing. The deal is done. The deal is closed, but I want to clarify a few things. Inter had an agreement, verbal agreement with with Tottenham, 40 million euros package, add-ons included, but Inter didn't close the deal for two reasons. No agreement with the player, and also Pavard not leaving the club. And so this is why Inter didn't proceed. Arsenal, the links were so many links, but Tottenham were never going to sell the player to Arsenal. It was impossible. So that's why that was a non-story. No sense to link Arsenal and Cuti Romero. Then Atletico Madrid arrived in a very strong way. They have a deal in place, the deal is done, 40 million euros, add-ons included, so not guaranteed, 40 million euros, and also Cuti Romero set to travel for medical test and contract signing. Tottenham will also have 15% sell-on clause for Cuti Romero, and that's really important. Barcelona, I told you a few days ago, when everyone was saying now Barcelona will go for Romero because they loan out Araujo to Liverpool, I told you Barcelona are not interested in Romero. Barcelona decided to say no to Romero deal. And it was a decision, I can confirm here, made not just by the club, so the management, but also with the coach. Hansi Flick was involved in the decision process and say no to Cuti Romero. So this is why Barca didn't sign Cuti. Now Cuti is going to Atletico Madrid, an excellent addition. It's a here we go, it's a done deal. Good luck to him. Talking about Argentinians, guys, Enzo Fernandez in the next video, and it's going to be in the morning. I will tell you absolutely everything on the big bomba because there is a deadline on Friday for the future of Enzo Fernandez. So on this and much